Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to talk to you about, apart from the town hall where we're talking about SPS staking, and we're hearing Aggie and Matt speak to why this is the important next step and why it's really a culmination of what they're intending, where players who will extract maximum reward are going to be those who are investing over a long time horizon, who are accumulating resources, SPS being, I guess, key amongst them. I want to share a clip and I want to respond to it. Before we get into that though, I got to cover SplinterCoach. Thank you, SplinterCoach, for providing sponsorship for the channel. If you don't know, SplinterCoach is a tool that at splintercoach.com where you can track your personalized win and loss data within Splinterlands. You can see which cards you play with, which summoners do you partner with monsters, which ones are working for you and which ones aren't. And through that data analysis, I think two things happen. One, entertainment, because you have fun exploring the data, and two, an opportunity to improve. I've been seeing some interesting stuff like Conquer Yasik 12 and 26. I'm playing with this thing too much and I'm losing too often. So there's something going on there. Immortalis has been a real winner for me. For the price point, I think he is an exceptional legendary summoner, far better than I originally thought. Thaddeus Brood, this is a bit bonkers. I'm a little overwhelmed by how good this has been lately. And then cards like Selenia Sky or Quixodevious. You know, Selenia Sky is old and expensive, and we're got a losing record. Quixodevious is new and relatively inexpensive, and a pretty strong record. And you just go down the line and you get kind of blown away by some of these win records and some of these losses. That's your summoners, but you can look at monsters. There's so much more here. Dr. Blight's killing it at the 603. But check out SplinterCoach May 19th. Friday, May 19th. SplinterCoach is going to be live, and they're doing some updates between here and there. In the interim here, I've been enjoying early access to SplinterCoach, and I'm really loving the tool, both from, like I say, the fun side, but also the development side that it offers. And I think you will too. May 19th, Friday, they'll be ready for public subscriptions and expanding what they've already started here. And I've been enjoying this a lot, so I think you should check it out. Thank you very much for the sponsorship, SplinterCoach. Without further ado, let's get into SPS staking and the recent town hall. So today, as I get back from my recent trips to Tulameen, I go to myself, what am I going to talk about? And I watched the town hall, and I saw what they had to say about the SPS, and I know how I feel about SPS and how I feel about the governance and the intentions, laid out. You want to go further, and you need to have more SPS, not less. If you have a big bag of SPS, you're going to maximize your rewards. You can do player staking, and I think we're going to have opportunities to stake on certain people and receive reward for that, either through one, your performance, but two, I think one day through rental. You'll be able to say, hey, I'm going to delegate X amount of SPS to you, and I actually want you to pay me a fee for that service. I think we're going to get there. And so there's just so much going on for why I'm excited about SPS. Plus it's at 2 cents, and I think it's got a far higher future price point. Take that with a grain of salt, I guess, but that's where my head's at. And so I hear the town hall talk about it, and I think to myself, okay, but I feel you guys probably, I don't know, what do you guys think is my first thought? Are people excited like me? And I was kind of pumped to see iHorus go. I think I like the SPS staking, even though I don't have enough. iHorus can be a little salty sometimes about this, and we've talked before. iHorus knows how I read his comments, and I like that he sometimes doesn't pick up on the same vibes I've got, because I want to hear what other people have to say that are perhaps different than where I'm coming from. But in this context, what I'm seeing is different people with different starting points, with different views of what should be optimal, having the same suggestion, the same perception around SPS staking is a great idea. It's a benefit. It's the right next step, even though he doesn't have enough. And that's how I feel too, man. I just bought 69,000 more SPS the other day. I saw a video. I posted a video about that one, and I will buy more. I want to one day have 1 million SPS, but the thing is, I don't have enough yet. I think this game is exciting. I love where it's aiming. I like the development. I'm excited for what's going on. I know some of you are skeptical, but I like to see iHorus coming in and saying, nah, he's You know, he likes where it's going. I bought another 2K SPS when I saw the requirements. It should make all players invested at SPS will go up. I think so, man. Let's see what the comments have to say in response to him. Branzia Paul says, meanwhile, Splinterlands is asking 58,000 staked SPS to get to normal rewards in Gold 1. Can you get more obvious with this SPS price manipulation? I mean, this is like a really jaded take on it. I mean, my opinion, this is a very loaded suggestion, right? The suggestion that there's only self-serving nature to it. And actually, this was covered in the town hall. It's like some people think this is the development team. Oh man, I want to, like, honestly, I want to get frustrated with Branzia here. I'm trying to stay cool because you're not the only one who thinks this, and I want to appeal to your viewpoint, and I want to hopefully open a door that you've not tried yet. And it's like, here's the thing, man. When we talk about, when you frame anything that's intended to bring SPS price up and you call it SPS price manipulation, how about you reframe that and you look at it from the perspective of, as an SPS holder, as a person who can play this game for your time and attention receiving SPS, don't you desire higher SPS prices? You're in a position to build a bag of SPS now through your time and attention, and then reap the reward of quote unquote price manipulation, and yet you frame it so critically. And I suspect Branzia, his take is based upon the idea that he actually doesn't hold a big bag SPS, that he doesn't want to, that he's never bought more, that he's probably sold what he's already accumulated. Branzia, if I'm wrong, I'd love to see a comment below. Set me straight on this if I'm wrong. But man, I just don't see how you come to this kind of framing when you recognize the fact that, first of all, if what they're doing is going to pump SPS, and that's the first question. If it is going to pump SPS, shouldn't you be appreciative of that? So why the negative framing? And then two, if it's not going to work, quote unquote, because some people are like, it's not even gonna work, SPS is never gonna go past the, 2 cents again. It's gonna just keep shrinking. The supply is gonna keep growing, and the price is gonna go into the tank, and the game's gonna die. So there's like the critical side of, you're gonna pump it, and I hate that you're gonna pump it because I'm never gonna be able to afford SPS. Well, guess what? If you pump it, you're gonna benefit from the pump. That's like the first strange criticism. And the second is that the price is going to continue to fall because the quote unquote pump, the price manipulation, as Branzia is suggesting, won't work. That's not Branzia's point, I don't think, but others are pushing this idea. It's not going to work, and therefore SPS will never see past 2 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, $1 again, ever. And what's the thinking there? It's like, well, the efforts are going to fail, and therefore I'm going to complain that the price isn't going to go higher. It's just so strange that we have complaint on the side of it's going to stay really cheap, and we have complaint on it might go up too fast. And I guess maybe that's just a product of our community being large enough that we can hear all the different, you know what I mean? Whether we look up or we look down, someone's going to hate it. Whether we, paint something red or blue, it's like there's a hater. It's like, just, no matter your choice, is there always going to be a critical view? Maybe. A couple more comments. Smoke Lord, not to mention Aggie gloating that he has a massive SPS bag and that all big SPS holders should be really happy with his announcement. Meanwhile, this will push even more players away, and new players won't touch us with a 10-foot pole. Smoke Lord is got a little spice in there, hey? And appreciate you, Smoke Lord. Again, same with Branzia. Thank you guys for and even iHorse, who's usually quite critical. I love you guys with the critiques. I don't get it. I mean, I'm a big SPS holder. I put my money where my mouth is. I've accumulated SPS and I've sold it reluctantly. And I want the price to go higher. Don't you? I don't get it. The only thinking, and again, maybe I'm being overly I don't know if, I don't think I'm being overly critical. I just can't see a justification or a foundation for this line of, like, let's say questioning, unless I come at it from a place of, you guys didn't take SPS seriously, you sold it when you earned it for free, and now you've got a lack of it, and you're like, you see it as the possibility of it turning around, and you're like, oh, I'm never going to get that bag that I need. But I mean, we could have accumulated at, 2 cents today. We could have accumulated over the last year and a half through play and through earnings, through tournaments and, events. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. And of course, the new player perspective is an interesting and an important consideration. We have to be cognizant of our new player, our ability to attract new players, but this is not the barrier that you seem to think it is, Smoke Lord. New players need SPS to receive maximum rewards. SPS is currently really inexpensive. First point. Second point, SPS will be made not transferable, delegatable. It already is. I can delegate onto an account. That will coincide with easy, inexpensive fees associated with massive delegations. It happens on the Hive blockchain. It's going to happen within this context. I know it will. It'll be a market system where you can receive. I could delegate out SPS to people I don't even know through a free market solution whereby someone with a little bit of money that wants to have access to a lot of SPS for a period of, like, say 30, 60, 90 days, they're going to be able to provide a payment. So the issue that you're raising, while important, is not actually as it's not the impediment that you seem to think it is. There are solutions that already exist to the new player concern around having a big bag of SPS. And again, it's all assuming that the SPS price does spike, which if it does spike, aren't we happy that it will spike? So it's like, if it spikes, I'm going to be super pissed because I can't get any. Okay, but it spiked, and so you should be happy with that it spiked. And if you're arguing strictly from that new player perspective, and you're not even saying about you personally, again, it's so important, but I just gave you a clear and I think accurate representation of how that problem is going to be solved. Aquacon, while I understand the reason for SPS staking, is this actually helpful for players? It's helpful for the game. And yes, it's helpful for players because, as Branzy is alluding to, and I won't use this framing, but the locking up of SPS is a locking up of supply. That affects the supply-demand mechanic of SPS, and that economy is going to be driven into higher prices because of the nature of restricted supply or limited supply onto the marketplace through staking mechanics. And so, is it helpful to players? Yes. Is it helpful to the game or to the ecosystem is even more important. And yes, it is. It's also just deeply connected to what they always said they were going to do, right? Like SPS's governance, you need to have SPS staked, you need to have it on your own account, you're going to be able to stake it on others. I don't know, none of this should be a surprise, and yet it continues to. I see responses even in these comments that where there's a tone of, why is this happening? But I mean, hasn't it always been the idea that this was going to happen? Am I wrong there? Congratulations, the devs may possibly get rid of the bot farms and now along small players like me. That's a shame if that's true. But at the same time, the beauty about that comment, Aquacon, is that you can leave. You earned something for your time and attention within Splinterlands over the period of time you've been here. You have the opportunity to walk away, and with other games, you can't say the same thing. Therefore, your comment almost proves the revolutionary nature of the game that you're upset with. You truly earned value for your time and attention, and now you can reap those rewards if you want, even if they are lower than you would hope, because we're in the middle of a bear market. One more comment, and I want to see a little clip, and I'll finish there with Aggie just kind of spiking the ball on what this means and why. Yes, it probably does mean price appreciation, but not. I mean, I don't get this context of it. The Woody 7575 goes, "This has been in the white paper from the beginning. It should not come as a shock to anyone. I don't know why people are whining. You've been receiving more rewards than you were entitled to for the last 18 months. Now the plan in the white paper is coming to life and you're upset. Woody, my dude. Amen. Amen. With that note, let's hear Aggie just spike the ball on this idea of like what this means for price appreciation for SPS, what it means for the game's vision, the development team's vision on executing this aim of people want to benefit here. Okay, you buy and accumulate and you stake and you store assets from the game. You don't do it passively with no contribution, no selection, no sort of investment and savings in it. You do it with this thoughtful process of further up and further in that we talk about on the channel. I got this clip queued up. I want to hear Aggie's thoughts here, so bear with me.
Yeah, I mean, I own a bunch of SPS, and I hear some players venting, immediately venting, and they're like, "This is too much. I have to get more. I wasn't able to earn all of it as I'm going, and now you want me to have more." And while I'm hearing that passion and that upsetness, there's a part of me that's freaking thrilled, being like, I own a ton of this. And there's lots and lots of people that are going to start needing it. And they're going to want it in droves. And there's a certain amount that they want to maintain the level of awards that they've been earning. But there's also going to be people that are going to get very greedy for this very rapidly because they want more. And that competitive more, fighting each other because there's not enough. And literally with this system, you can really start pointing to it and say, there's not enough for every player to earn as much as they want, as fast as they want. It starts looking rather competitive. And I get very excited about that as a large holder of SPS. I feel like, wow, everybody's going to need a lot of this. I sure am glad I've been staking everything I've been getting, for maybe not everything I've gotten, but the vast majority of this. I've been staking it for since July of 2021, seeing all this utility come in. That's really exciting to me. You know, this has been a missing component of our ecosystem of like, well, what forces me to do this? Why would I want to do this? And I actually feel like you came up with a really nice balance of, well, you're not forced to do this. You know, you won't get as much rewards if you don't stake as much as you can. But that's up to every man and woman to decide for themselves what level of commitment that they're comfortable with.
That's it, man. You don't have to stake it if you don't want to. But if you want to, and if you recognize the fun and future opportunity within Splinterlands, then you should be deeply excited by the fact that this token, which we've received for free through our time and attention while enjoying Splinterlands over the last year and a half, now has a new form of utility that will, I mean, as the first comment suggests, manipulate the price. But let's not, like, why would we frame it in that context? It's going to improve the utility of our token. It's going to improve the supply and demand mechanics. It's going to incentivize staking, locking up, and that's going to reduce the supply in the market, and that should drive prices higher. And that's a wonderful thing. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like the last comment, like what he said, man, this was in the white paper. This has been here from the beginning. It shouldn't shock anyone. What are we complaining about? Not only you've been receiving these rewards for free through your time and attention, but now they're planning to create a mechanism through which they will appreciate, guys. Like, how are we complaining about this? Circling back, two things I see. One, maybe you already sold your bag and you're disappointed that now there's actually some reason in some future to believe it might appreciate, and that's a bit of sour grapes. If I'm overstepping in the grounds there and I'm wrong about you, I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just trying to really, honestly, that's all I can really truly see. And if I'm missing it, help me understand in the comments below. But two, I see one clear suggestion that deserves some thoughtful consideration, and it came from Smoke Lord around this new player concern. Yeah, I get it. We don't want to make it harder for new players. This is true, Smoke Lord. But I think I already articulated a response to how we can deal with that issue. I think there's going to be easy, innovative ways that actually already exist. They're not even that innovative because they already exist. That we're going to be able to stamp that onto the Splinterlands SPS sort of economy, and done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you want SPS, you pay practically nothing. You have a massive bag for a 30, 60, 90-day window. And in so doing, you unlock tournaments and, you know, massive rank rewards, etc., all of which far exceed the pittance of payment that you're going to have to be expected to pay into. Not to mention, there's this quid pro quo moment where if I did such a thing and I delegated, let's say, 100,000 SPS onto you, you're going to receive massive rewards because of it. You're going to pay a small fee to me, and then I'm going to get a slight slice of the pie from your winnings. So there's this real kind of you scratch my back, I scratch your back. I love this stuff. This is amazing. I'm super pumped about it, and I don't share your guys' concern or criticism. I think this is deeply exciting, and I kind of feel if you hate this next step for Splinterlands, one, you might not have been paying attention, and two, you probably sold your bags when on the way down, and now you're feeling like you'll never fill them up again. I say, take a breath. Start if you feel that way, and again, if you come back to a place where you believe Splinterlands is fun and has a future, start to accumulate that bag even now. As iHorse had just bought 2,000 SPS, doesn't feel he has enough. Often skeptical, but recognizing this is a moment of opportunity, recognizing what the writing on the wall is for this, and this is a good thing for price appreciation, not a point of criticism and critique. Thank you guys very much for your feedback. Appreciate you guys. I thank you. Even when you're being critical, I really do appreciate it, and I hope that comes across in this content. Thank you. Have an amazing day. And once again, special thanks to Splintercoach. Check them out Friday, May 19th. They're going to go live for public subscription. And this has been the early access, but I'm really enjoying it, and I think you will too. Have an amazing day. God bless.